VGK with a back-to-back, first traveling to Dallas on Saturday to take on the Stars, then on Sunday back at home against the Sharks. We will have previews. The Golden Knights, will the dads continue to fuel this team? Stay with us right here on the WTF edition of Locked On Golden Knights.
Your Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen. Please check out the YouTube channel, Locked On Golden Knights, and subscribe there. So today, before we get into things on the show, we are wearing our Rebel Red today. And this is for the victims of the senseless shooting on the UNLV campus. And we ask folks around the valley on Friday, today's Friday, to wear anything Rebel Red or just red, again, just in memory of those folks of this senseless act of violence. So let's talk first. We've got first in these two segments, we've got a Stars preview, we've got a Sharks preview, and then we're into WTF. And so let's start off with Dallas and the No Stars. Haven't called them that in a minute, have I? It's been an up and down team this season. They've allowed a lot of goals lately. Last night, I watched the game that they played against the Caps, and Jason Robertson, he had the shootout goal for the Stars, 1-0. They won the shootout 5-4, the win over the Capitals in Washington. Rupe Hintz had a couple of goals, and on Saturday, they will be playing their third game in 5 days versus the VGK. In the last 10 games, Chris, 4-4-2 for the Stars, and they have played 5 out of 6 games on the road. Scott Wedgwood was in net last night. They made DeBoer was making some changes with his team. The first period, they more or less had half of the time spent in the offensive zone, but then they had to come back and rally from 3-1 down. Stars in the battle at the top of the Central Division with the Avalanche. And they always have good games against the VGK. Perhaps this will be one of those games, even though the VGK scored goals the other night and Dallas giving up some goals and also scoring goals, could be one of those under games as the teams are going to be perhaps a little bit out of gas. I don't know.
The Golden Knights are in form right now. I think that's the first thing that I'll say after the Blues game on Monday, they were good. Puck just didn't go in. Obviously, the game on Wednesday was much better. They had the puck luck, even less high danger chances, yet everything seemed to be going in. You got a few things against the Stars right now. Like you said, fourth game in 6 nights, whatever this works out to be. But they're coming back from an East Coast road trip, traveling across multiple time zones, 1 day off, and they're playing a matinee afternoon game. This is a 1 o'clock local starts. So this game is starting 4 hours earlier than what is normal for the Stars after they've had all this travel. So this is a very tough game. The Stars are going to have probably a sleepy start to this game, and then as the game progresses, they'll find their game. It's going to be tough, but this is a game where the Golden Knights could potentially put the Stars away in the first period. The Stars are really good. It's probably not going to go down like that. It's probably going to be a 2-1 or 3-2 overtime / shootout game because that's what happens between these two teams.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's a spot where the Golden Knights can pounce on a really good team and just hang a 3 spot on the board in the first period, it's going to be Saturday's game in the afternoon against the Stars. Dreaded first game from the road trip. Dreaded first game back.
You love that trend, don't you? And
I love it.
This is a team with the Stars. Again, the Avalanche, it's a seesaw battle at the top of the division. Neither team can pull away. I know special teams, again, will be a big factor. The 8 power play opportunities for the VGK It's going to be, I think, a real good game that could be decided by special teams because they always play really tight games, tight checking in the neutral zone. VGK has done a great job in the O zone of maintaining the puck. Puck possession has been really done well, and we saw that especially in period 2 in St. Louis a couple of nights ago.
So if we're going to talk special teams rankings just for a second,
Why the pause? Why the pause between this isn't Gary? You said special teams
because I
I
was
like
just
that.
typing up and
It's
trying to
emphatic.
buy. I was
Oh,
trying to
no.
buy time.
But that was pretty emphatic. I like that. So that might stick. Special teams. Okay.
Stars rank 8th on the power play to the Golden Knights, 12th or 13th. Hold that thought for 1 second.
I've got it. I'm holding it, man. I'm holding it right
okay.
there.
Well, then tell me to stop it. But yeah, this is definitely where the type of game where any advantage can certainly determine what happens. I mean, thinking back to the last couple of times, were they both 2-2 overtime and then 3-2 overtime or shootout victories? Were those the last 2 games these two teams played?
The last one
Was it 3-2 or 2-1?
Was it a 2-1 and Eichel scored? No, that's not that.
We're
game.
both
Yeah,
finals
Eichel
3-2 is what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah. I think they were both low scoring games. Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, but the Stars have been, like you said, you started the Open with the Stars being in some high event hockey. I mean, their last 4 games, the Stars given up 4 goals. And I mean, Tampa and Florida and even Washington, like those are not teams that score very well right now, especially Washington. We talked about that a little while back. They were a minus goal differential when the Golden Knights played them about 2 weeks ago. I don't know. I know Ovechkin still has the same amount of goals now, 5, as he did when they played the Golden Knights 2 weeks ago. So
Yeah,
I don't know if they've exactly.
Ovechkin finally did have an assist, so he did have his 1,500.
He got on the board. There we go.
He finally got it after that was 2 weeks ago, right? We were talking about that against VK.
Yep.
Yeah, they're going slowly there in DC.
I mean, the Stars are, horse racing references right now. The Stars are not to form where the Golden Knights, I think, are in form right now. If we're going to talk about, racing up a class or in class and stuff like that, the Golden Knights are in the right spot where the Stars might be a bit out of their class in this game. I'm not saying the Stars don't belong in the same class as the Golden Knights. That's not at all what I'm saying. Don't make that the one thing you snip and roast me for on Twitter later. But this game,
I set you up.
The Golden Knights. No, it's not even you, just people in general. But this is where the Golden Knights can outclass the Stars, given all the circumstances of the tough travel, of the fact that the Golden Knights got their dads with them.
No,
it's not an excuse. It's a circumstance. Yes,
it is.
It's a circumstance. There it is.
I'm going to use a horse racing reference then to counter your horse racing reference.
I love it.
Will the Golden Knights be in first place for long? How do the Kings have? That was weak. I know. Weak attempt there. How do the Kings?
That was like a Los Alamitos quarter pole week.
That was really bad.
It wasn't even Maywood. It was Los Al quarter pole on a Friday night.
How did the Vegas Golden Knights? How have they played 4 games more than the Kings? It's kind of weird, right? The Kings have 4 games. 11-0 on the road. 11-0 to start the season.
Why are you starting WTF early? Yeah, that's a great WTF. The Kings are 11-0 on the road.
Yeah, right. The adjustments that the Golden Knights have made. Again, kudos, credit to Bruce Cassidy for making in-game adjustments, as he did against St. Louis between the first and second periods, clogging up the neutral zone, stopping those St. Louis Blues entries, and the adjustments that they make not only in-game but game to game. And so we can see some more adjustments heading into this game. I think he does a terrific job with making.
I don't know if there's anyone better in the league at in-game adjustments. We hear Cassidy talk about this and stay in the moment, and he is very present. And what I mean is he's not going to let outside influences determine what he does during a game. He's going to make the right decision with what he's watching, and that's what he's going to live with. It'll work or it's not going to work, but he's not afraid to make that move. The Golden Knights are going against Pete DeBoer and the Dallas Stars, who is a little more reserved. Pete DeBoer, in my opinion, does not make those big moves. I'm not a big there's no one probably classier in the NHL than Pete DeBoer as a coach, but as far as being a tier 1 coach, when I say tier 1 coach, a coach I look at and say, I need a Stanley Cup coach who's going to get me to a winning a Stanley Cup. Pete DeBoer is not the first guy that comes to my mind when I think about that. So does Pete DeBoer have the same ability to make the same level of in-game adjustments? I mean, we've seen this from Pete DeBoer plenty of times where if the Stars are just getting shots and shooting from wherever, he's happy and, oh, boys, not our night. We'll get him next time. That's as Pete DeBoer as a presser as you can possibly have right there.
Coming up next, we'll have a preview of the VGK versus Sharks game, the back-to-back. They'll play again tomorrow as they take on the Stars in Dallas at 1, and then they return for the 7 o'clock start on Sunday night here at the Fortress. That's coming up ahead, plus WTF. It's all ahead right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Passion, drive, and patience, what brings home the winning trophy, is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything that you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance, from superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you are into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you will always find exactly what you're looking for. And for eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time, or you get your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you are burning rubber and not cash. With all the parts that you need at the prices you want, it's easy to run your car into the MVP zone and bring home that win. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit, only available for U.S. customers. Welcome back to this WTF edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. We appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much. And also check out the YouTube channel. Today's WTF. Tomorrow is Chris and Chris, the YouTube channel exclusive. So subscribe, Locked On Golden Knights, right there. Okay, Golick family, this weekend, will you be going to the San Jose game on Sunday? Does it appear to be that way?
I'll be at the game. It's a school night. It's 7 o'clock
School
start.
night,
So,
yeah. School night for me
we
too.
might actually, I haven't even talked to Chris about this yet, or mommy. But
mostly mommy.
UNLV actually has a pair of games at City National this weekend. They're playing Friday night and Saturday. And Saturday night. So I'm thinking about maybe tomorrow night's game, because tonight I'm working while the kids are out and stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. That's about the extent of the sports plans for the weekend.
And for me, on Saturday night, I am calling UNLV against Loyola Marymount. I'll be on the call of that game, and it could be and will be, I believe, an emotional game for the UNLV Running Rebels as they come back from that Dayton trip. They didn't play the game in light of the tragedy on campus, and I think fans are going to show up out there. It should be a very fun night, I think, when it comes to the game. And then, of course, we'll all have that moment of silence and pay tribute to those folks that passed away. It's just awful. And it wraps up
Sunday night Golden Knights game. You're going to see a very appropriate pregame. I'm not going to use the word ceremony, but just an appropriate pregame for what happened, and along the lines of, unfortunately, it's becoming a trend now, but what happened 7 years ago now, October 6 years ago, 7 years ago,
17.
October 1. So
yeah.
It
is what it is, unfortunately. And
it's reality.
Yeah, and the community rallies back very, very strongly. It's a very resilient and tight-knit community when it really comes down to it here. That's what we've learned throughout all of these senseless tragedies. What is going on with the San Jose Sharks? Break up those Sharks, man. They have scored 22 goals over the past 4 games. Thursday night, down 4 goals. And Michael Granlund scores with 37 seconds into the overtime period to defeat Detroit, coming back from 4. These are the comeback kids suddenly. Also, they trailed by 3 goals in the third period on Tuesday night, and they came back to beat the Islanders 5-4. Wake up, Golick. Don't snooze. Now 8-17-2. And guess what, though? They're just the Sharks. The Sharks are just 4 points behind the fading Seattle Kraken. They're just 4 points behind them now.
How about those Sharks that gave up 19 goals in the last 4 games, Cordasco?
Oh, I didn't. Okay, yeah.
Come on.
All right.
Come on.
Well,
I mean,
we're not going to go there.
listen, the Sharks are a fun story, and it's fun to support a team not doing well at times. And it's curious to see where this moment, as far as for the Sharks, ranks in importance for their long-term health, if you will. Are the Sharks 2 years away from being decent, 5 years away from being decent? Are they never going to be decent? Probably what's going to be. So that's the interesting part. And listen, anytime you come back from 4-0, it's cool. The Sharks spoiled Patrick Kane's homecoming with the Detroit Red Wings first game. And I don't know if Kane had anything in the game or not, but the point being is that's a special game, and let's get him out there. Let's roll him out there against the Sharks. And Sharks had other plans. And the Golden Knights could be in a similar spot, right? You're most likely going to have Yuri Patera going, unless Aiden Hill, they have this game circled to get him back, which very well could possibly be what this whole precautionary thing was for, or it might not be what it's for. So you have to respect what the Sharks have been doing. You have to respect the fact that they can score. You have to respect the fact that they're just going to have fun and come into this game with no pressure. The Golden Knights scored 5 goals and 4 goals against them and have given up 1 in their first 2 games of the season. So yes, it's on the tail of a back-to-back, but I think that's a fair handicapper, if you will, whenever you have to play the Sharks.
Well, they're going to be out. They're going to be on fire. It's a revenge game for the Sharkies. 4-1, VGK won that game and spoiled opening night in San Jose when the Knicks at night, Haig and Waugh, both scored goals, Chris, in the final couple of minutes there of period number 2. So
how about the dad's trip? The Sharks had their dads with them, and the Golden Knights just wiped the floor with them. So, then maybe the dads will be at that game waiting too. I mean, I don't know. I mean, listen, like I said, it's an interesting story, the Sharks and all that. But at the end of the day, this should be a game where the Golden Knights have it well in control. The Golden Knights might not be as solid defensively this game with the injuries and the quick turnaround and such, although it's a matinee game that they play the day before instead of a night game. So the Golden Knights get a couple extra hours. Tony, How come the Golden Knights find a way before they travel on these back-to-backs to be coming back or going the day of a matinee? Because, I mean, that happened against the Kings, right? The Golden Knights lost to the Blackhawks in OT. The Golden Knights beat the Coyotes to air, or they beat the Kings to LA by like 4 hours. So there you go, Tony. There you go.
I told you.
And it happened not too long ago, too, with another game. It happened recently, too. They beat someone where they.
I'm watching Dallas struggle in Washington against the Caps, and then they pull out that game. Meanwhile, you've got in a little tavern there in Dallas, the dads, the VGK dads and their sons, throwing back a few. They had all sorts of time.
Good. Speaking of all sorts of time, the Sharks, they're excited to get to Sin City, Tony. We saw that on the Twitter. They're looking forward. The Sharks are like a kid. I mean, the ones that are over 21 are like probably not too many. They're kids in a candy shop right now. They're
guilty game.
Guilty. It might very well be a guilty game. It might be a very guilty. I mean, they have a full Friday and then Saturday to recover, but they're not going to not do anything on Saturday. They got literally 2 full days, probably practicing at City National this weekend, I'd have to assume, since you got those weird basketball games that don't count at T-Mobile. I'll save it for the third segment.
That's the third segment. Okay. And they continually pull goaltenders with this team. So last night, Capo Kakinen was pulled. Mackenzie Blackwood gets the win there. Nico Sturm had a couple of goals. Earlier this week, The Guardian, I don't know if you saw this article where they ripped the San Jose Sharks. We're talking
Who's The
about
Guardian. Is that a California paper?
It's a publication online, whatever. I don't know. It's a national publication. It said that the Sharks had conceded now 54, I think it is. I just updated it. 54 more goals than they have scored. But they are a better team than they were on those 2 games back-to-back where they allowed the 10 goals.
They're minus 53, Tony. Your notes are wrong. They're minus 53 after the win last night.
All right. Thanks for updating my update. That's good. So 10 goals again to the Penguins and the Canucks in back-to-back games. It's a team, though, seriously, that started off 0-10-1.
Yeah.
And now they're 8-7-1. Is that good? Is my math okay there?
No, they're
8-7-1.
8-17.
No. But they're
since then. Okay, I got
since
you.
then 8-7-1.
Drop the 10, hang the
Yes.
2, divide by
Yeah.
7. Got it. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. My
Exactly.
community college maths right there. But yeah. I mean, listen, they're doing okay. It's fine. They're the Sharks.
It should be a fun game. Take
not
the
nearly
over.
as good as
Take
the 10
the
and 12
over.
Oilers, but
take the over. This thinking over.
They got to hang a
What
7.
number are they going to 7?
They got to hang a
That's
7.
what I was just going to ask.
There's got to be a 7. And it should be pretty close to even on both sides. But if
my
they hang a
goodness.
6 or a 6.5, you're going to be at minus 160 to take the over.
Jeez Louise. And then, of course, they have their defensemen. I was just reading as well. Their D-men, like most of them, they're trying to shop. So they're on the trading block. And so they're not going to have, they're giving up a ton of goals now. Imagine if they lose 1 or 2 more defensemen. So that game comes up again on Sunday. Stay with us. Coming up next, it's WTF. What? The Stinking Friday. We've got all that next right here on Locked On Golden Knights. We spend a lot of time together. We talk, you, I, myself, Chris, all of you, and we get fired up together. We talk about the wins and the losses, who starts, who sits. And we are so thankful for the connection we have. And today, we want our chat to be just a little bit more personal. We just learned that you can get a 1-year supply on ED medications. You realize what that means? It means you could bring on the extended travel, bring on the sharks, bring on the natural disaster or supply chain issues. You are covered fully, our friends. And you don't have to worry about whether or not you can refill your generics. I always screw up that word. For Cialis, for Viagra, and those prescriptions. And it's all made possible by our friends from Jase Medical. So go online right now, jasemedical.com, and you can receive your 12-month supply on your daily medication. Remember to use the promo code LOCKEDON at checkout for a discount as well. There are all sorts of testimonials that you could find online. And if you or someone you love would get some peace of mind, you can get it by having that 1-year supply of any daily medication. Just go to jasemedical.com to see if it's offered for you. Remember to use the promo code LOCKEDON for $20 off of your purchase. Welcome back to the weekend edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. We appreciate you doing so. And of course, you can find us wherever you get your podcast, and across Apple and Odyssey and Spotify, all of that. It's really interesting how far this show really reaches. So we've got WTFs. I'm going to not start. Oh, my only WTF for you, Mr. Golick. Turn on the stinking Christmas lights, for crying out loud.
Chris,
where you at? Turn on the lights.
Chris, I need something, but don't tell mommy.
This is from VGK_Mucky. WTF, it's on with the Saturday. WTF is with fans giving LT the Leonard treatment. LT is a great goalie, and fans are starting to blame him for losses when the team doesn't give him any goal support.
Who's blaming him for losses?
WTF. You kind of hinted at that yesterday. I threw you under the bus, though, in my headline. I said that Cassidy's losing confidence in LT.
Yeah, but why? Yeah, but why were they asking me about that? Like
because I threw you under the bus.
That's such a Tony take. It's ridiculous.
I said that was Chris's topic.
Yeah, but I think right. But
I sensationalized it, right?
No, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, no, that's not. Yeah,
I threw you under the bus. My bad.
Right. No, you didn't do anything wrong. You're good.
And
all right,
WTF
so
right go ahead,
my
man.
Christmas lights, please. All right, so I'll save.
He waited for you to say please. I like that guy.
He did. Yeah, I'll save my next one. All right, WTF. Where's my schedule? Where's my stinking schedule?
Okay, WTF schedule for The BTK
the
schedule?
Golden Knights, yeah.
Rip.
WTF, Aiden Hill remains out for precautionary measures. That's one WTF. Next WTF, Chandler Stevenson has not scored a goal since October 14th. WTF.
In a contract year, WTF.
In a contract year. Yeah, that's terribly unfortunate. The more important of the WTFs, it was very nice to see all of the leaders around Nevada and the country tweet about the senseless tragedies, and then it was even nicer to see him go back to work on Thursday and just stop caring about making things better. So WTF.
Ooh, burn.
Accurate.
WTF.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're absolutely correct. And that's the way that business goes, I guess, in this country anymore. WTF. I have to ask you this question, Mr. Golick. Was the second period against St. Louis on Wednesday night, pause, immaculate?
100%.
WTF, Golick. What constitutes an immaculate period, Golick? WTF.
I'll start with erasing a 2-goal deficit and leading by 2 goals at the end of the period. I think that's a good barometer. I mean, you hang a 3 spot and you dominate while not giving up a single goal. I think that's pretty close, and maybe we can knock it down to a 2 spot when the games start to matter a lot more down the stretch. But I mean, the Golden Knights owned them. They owned them. They owned them. You know, who owns the Chiefs? They definitely owned the Blues. What the heck was that?
Go ahead. I'm just throwing things.
Oh my God. It scared the crap out of me. Oh my God. I thought you just died.
No. I thought it was an earthquake. Because every time there's an earthquake in California or even in Mexico, people go, I felt that.
Oh my God. That made my heart skip a beat right there. That happened at
You're right
2650 of them. Yeah. Oh no, we're gonna make a meme out of that. All right. So WTF Ivan Barbashev, a couple good games, very noticeable, obviously, Monday against the Blues, got 2 assists after having a bad first. There goes Tony again. After having a bad first period. So gotta give Barbashev credit. I've been on him the whole season. Want to be clear, Golden Knight fans, Ivan Barbashev doing better. Good job, Barbashev. Let's see if he can keep it going. Last one on my really small sticky notes, because I'm out of big sticky notes, is I got 2 more actually, and I'll be done. You have the NBA in-season tournament where the games do count or they don't count, but all these millionaires get $500,000 if they win, happening at T-Mobile Arena. Fine, cool, okay. I watched a couple things on Twitter. You have this neon red stripe that covers the middle third of the courts as they bounce a bright orange basketball and shoot this bright orange basketball into this orange rim. What in God's name are we doing there? Like, I think the courts are cool. Like, I think what they did is fun.
them?
It's noticed. In general, I
I'm
like what they
nuts.
did, but some of them are a little more reserved than the others. You know what I mean? Like a little, like the UNLV skyline was not nearly as distracting as the NBA in-season tournaments. Exactly. And then just WTF for my business here. I am so knee-deep right now. I got all these cards back here. I got a list. I got all these cards down here. I got a list. Yeah. That's my Tony Cordasco impression.
But the lights are on. Oh, wow. Where'd he go? There you are.
That was my Cordasco
Christmas
impression.
Lights are on. I like
so
that.
Yeah, I'm knee deep in eBay listings right now, but the stuff is actually really cool. Like, these are like cards for, like, not regular cards, but like photos given out from like the 1970s. Like, here you go, Ken Dryden. Like, it's not a real autograph. Wow. It's just the cards.
Look at the mask.
But look how look at the quality of that picture. And Jan Cornoyer. I mean, that's just so cool. These sell for like $4 or $5 a pop. I got like 100 of them in this lot. I paid nothing for it. It's amazing. It's awesome. I'm so happy
it's
right
really
now. Good. But it's fun, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work right now.
It is. WTF? Who is paying for the dad's bar tab? WTF? They're 8-0.
I mean, I gotta think their sons are well off enough. But I mean, what do I know?
Yeah, exactly. I wonder what they do. Like, doesn't Foley chip in some? Well, they fly them, right? They fly them to Las Vegas and then on the road with the team. And they fly them back.
I know a while back with the salary cap rules and stuff. I don't know if this is still a thing, but where if players were like negotiating suites for their family and stuff, they wanted that somehow worked into the contract and stuff like that. So I don't know if the team can simply by rules, and I could be totally wrong. If someone wants to correct me, please, if you know the answer to this. I don't know if the team is technically allowed to do stuff like that, or if it has to come out of their own pockets. And listen, no one's going to lose any sleep if they got to foot the bill for the dad's trip on the team. But I honestly don't know how that whole thing shakes out, but it's fun. I mean,
I bet you it had to be a heavy drinking night last night. Had to be. We've got some more.
Let them blow off some steam. Great. Have some fun.
We have some more listener tweets for WTF. Sissifer checking in. WTF WTF does San Jose have 2 days off sitting and waiting in Vegas while Vegas plays Dallas, and the next night of a back-to-back has San Jose. #rigged. WTF.
This is a good thing, Todd. This is a good thing. Relax. You have the San Jose Sharks, a bunch of young kids running up and down the Las Vegas Strip for a few days. Don't worry about it, bro. Don't worry about it.
And he also said WTF is up with the slower starts this year. WTF from Darth Tommy 774, a guy who really likes my reads on the show. WTF, why are the dads not attending every VGK game? Come on, dads. Don't you want your sons to win a cup? Stop being so selfish. WTF there. WTF from E-Runs. We are flying in for Sunday's game and will probably end up watching the other guy in goal. The other guy. Is the other guy going to start?
It's sticking. Oh, it's
when you put the other guy in caps, I love it. You got to love the other guy.
It's not going to be Logan Thompson.
Does anyone have a VGK jersey with the other guy on it? Now that would be funny.
You got me thinking.
You need to get one of those Yuri Patera jerseys. Do they even make those?
I don't know. WTF Lou Dog hit us. I got this is in my head. I just remembered this one. So we had a spelling snafu on that side of the screen where Tony sits with our topics. I guess we did. But so every now and then I got to explain this. Every now and then the network wants us to spell something wrong. We want to see how close the listeners are paying attention and watching. So it was part of a focus group. So Lou, thank you very much. I've reported back and let them know that one person out of the 350 views saw that. So thank you very much. We appreciate it.
So what did we spell wrong over there?
A word. Just a word. It wasn't anything. It was whatever.
It was nothing. I like it though. It's pretty funny. Okay, from @Dan Ryan Wall Street, one of our everydayers. Okay, so year to date, we have played only one home game in non-gold, and we lost in regulation. Every away game in white. I will accept the Winter Classic, although I hate the jerseys. This time last year, we were big on the retros, and we were getting killed. We are reigning champions. Please don't give in. We won in gold and white. WTF. WTF. That's a good one, too. And then WTF, the Vegas Bjorn empty netter there from 150 feet out. And then on a serious note, WTF, will the Golden Knights, that was a really nice email that we were that was a really nice X that we were tagged on yesterday about what the Golden Knights might do to honor the victims of the shooting. Do you think WTF they'll wear UNLV stickers on their helmet, or how do you think they will honor the folks at UNLV that passed away, unfortunately?
I mean, the NHL has very specific rules about, not that this is a theme night by any means, please don't get that confused, but they specify their rules. He's shaking again. They specify
I did that intentionally. That was intentional.
Okay, they specify them as theme nights, and you can't wear the jerseys. Just up until like the first week of the regular season, you couldn't even do anything with stick tape. So whatever, I mean, I hope the NHL makes some type of exception, whether it's a patch, whether it's a sticker on the helmets.
The tape with UNLV would be really
good, but you usually don't see it when the game goes on. I don't know. But I mean, red and black tape for starters would be really nice if they could rock
scarlet and gray
UNLV jerseys pregame.
Scarlet and gray, not black. It's not a school color.
I'm sorry.
Scarlet and gray.
Scarlet and gray.
The alma mater.
If they could rock a jersey and warm up, I think that would be remarkable. I mean, listen, here's something small. I don't think they allow the players to wear different jerseys, but who's to say the coaches or assistant coaches, at least during warmups when they go out there and chart the lines, can't wear
Cool.
something? The trainers wearing something, like whatever it is, or the Golden Knights going to say, F it, and we're going to do it, and whatever the fine is, go ahead, you fine us, and we'll match that and donate it to UNLV, like something like that, whatever. I mean, it would be nice to see the Golden Knights max out the credit card on this one, and they will do something incredibly tasteful to remind everyone that the community is one and that the community is together. And I wonder if does Mark Stone take the microphone like Derek England?
Interesting. Yeah, we'll have to see tonight, rather Sunday night. I'm on the road next week, so you're on your own, Golick, okay? Early in the week. Sorry about that. Business calls. So, and that's a WTF. We appreciate everyone tuning in. Thank you so much. Of course, especially the everydayers that make this show tick. And of course, don't forget WTF, obviously on Fridays, Saturday mornings, the YouTube exclusive with Chris and Chris. And that is only on Locked On Golden Knights on the YouTube channel. For my man, Chris Golick, I'm Tony Cardasco. We got through this week. And of course, prayers, sympathies to the victims and the families at UNLV and all the students that went through just that tragic incident there. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you again on Monday right here on Locked On Golden Knights.